Hey guys, it's Marisa at KitchenTableStamper.com, and we are in video number 3 of 3 in a Stamp a Stack series. We have stamped a stack of gorgeous Butterfly Brilliance cards. This is our design for this video. If you missed video number 1, we made 3 Hello Sunshine cards. So you'll notice each one based on the butterflies that we use from the designer series paper and the pieces that we use from our one sheet wonder, our wonder recipe number 1, we get a little bit different look. That's video number 1. Video number 2, we made these gorgeous Thanks for Being You cards. And again, same layout, same pieces, but the designer series paper and butterflies that we choose give us a little bit different look. That's video number 2. Video number 3, we're going to make these 2 cards, the final 2 in our set of 7 Butterfly Brilliance Stamp a Stack class. So if you are just tuning in now, you want to check out video number 1 and 2. The quick links are below on the blog or on YouTube. They're in the description. We've cut our paper for this card according to the Wonder Recipe number 1. We've used these sections. We actually modified a little bit for Wonder Recipe number 1. We took care of all that in video number 1, so check it out. We're going to use our 2 by 5 1/4 inch pieces right now. We did a little bit of modifying on that butterfly piece. And all that's left are our little scraps. Now those are just way too cute to throw away. So let's go ahead and put those back in the kit. There is an optional kit available for you while supplies last. If you want to follow along with this class, you can check out kitchentablestamper.com/shop. And there's 1/4 of a package of this gorgeous Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper. This stuff is sold out. And so if you either didn't get some and you want to make these cards, or you just want some extra and an easy class pack, buzz over and see if there's a class pack. They're there while supplies last. We're going to use our tailored tag punch and cut our strips of this butterfly paper. Put a little dovetail on each end, and we'll do the same with our coral and with our Bermuda Bay pattern. This punch is definitely the easy button for dovetails. There we go. Everybody's got that pretty little banner end. Now, okay, we've prepared our designer series paper pieces, and I've done a few things ahead of time to just save us on the repeat. But let's take a look at the kit and what you're going to find in there. If you're following along without the kit, then you're going to want to cut your cardstock pieces now. But in the kit, you'll find your cards in an envelope. So you've got a beautiful Stampin' Up! Envelope to mail your finished card in. And in the card kit, you'll find petal pink card bases. They're 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4 all ready for you. So you'll need 2 petal pink card bases if you don't have the kit, or get the 2 from your kit if you've got it. And we did the die cutting ahead of time for you. Whisper white, or these are basic white. We've moved to basic white. Basic white rectangle, and this one is what I call F from the stitch rectangle dies. It's about 3 11/16 by 1 11/16. You'll want some scraps of mint macaron and petal pink. We're going to punch. If you've got the kit, we've done it for you. A sprig with mint macaron for each card. And you'll punch 2 flowers for each card. 1 with the small bloom punch. This one's retiring. It's available as supplies last. This is one of my right-hand man. So if you don't have that punch, think about getting it. It's on sale. And then the smaller one from the strawberry belter punch. So those are the pieces of cardstock from your kit that you'll prepare. Now you'll notice that the kit will come with the flowers done in petal pink for one design, and so saffron for the other design. In video number 1, we also die cut our butterflies. So if you missed the other videos in the series, you'll want to check that out. Let me show you these. Your kit includes the basic white cardstock for you to cut your butterflies using your Butterfly Brilliance bundle. And you'll use, for this design, you'll cut these butterflies. So this kind of medium-sized one with the rounded wings, the small one with the little wings that peek up, and then for our other design, you'll cut just the one of this smaller butterfly. So 3 altogether for this set, or this design within the set. All right, so we've got our butterflies for this guy, butterfly for this guy. Let's go ahead and we're gonna separate out our designer series paper. So for this one, we'll do the coral and the butterflies. This one, the Bermuda Bay and the butterflies. And now we'll need to quickly catch up with our first design and do this great texture on the background. Let me show you how we're gonna do that. Got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here, and number 1, which is the platform, and then the Parisian Flourish 3D embossing folder. You can substitute for something else if you like. We do your die cutting, but we do not do your embossing. I just don't have enough hands. So if you have to substitute something, I had suggested the Curls and Swirls from the couple of holiday catalogs ago. That would be beautiful. And the something subtle, like the subtle 3D embossing folder or the Timeless Textures would be great. If you have the tin tile 3D embossing folder, that one would also, I think, look very beautiful with this design. All right, so there's our swirl. Let's go ahead and highlight that with some ink. We're going to use the Whisper White Craft ink from Stampin' Up! And do direct to paper. We'll just go ahead and highlight the raised areas. We can avoid the center because most of the center is going to be covered with our designer series paper. So really focus on the edges and the corners. You can add more, but you cannot take it off. So just take your time, use a light hand and go over as many times as it takes to get the coverage you want, instead of glomming it all on there and wishing you could get, backtrack and take it off, because you can't. So just take your time. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's let it dry and we'll do our sentiments. Thinking about changing up the sentiment on the card just for fun. It says, "Thanks for being you." And the sentiment that I'm using came from the Simply Citrus card kit. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's a fantastic kit, really adorable, and the greetings in it are great. The images are just really sweet. Lemons are great treats. You can find lots of different lemon things, so the stamp set will just keep on giving. I did "Thanks for being you" on this one. I was thinking maybe we'd try the Just a Note greeting from the same stamp set. So let's get some Memento Tuxedo black ink and our rectangles. Now, to have room for our flower and sprigs and little butterflies and things that we use to kind of decorate the bottom, thinking about a finger of space. And then let's try Just a Note and see how that looks. I think it's gonna fit. I think it's gonna work. If we hate it, it's only paper, right? Just a Note. Let's try it again. It might cause us to rearrange our butterflies a little bit or something, but I wanted to really show the stamp set from this kit. It's a favorite, and I'm sad that it's going. I have a thing for anything fruity, but this kit with its stamp set and these great greetings, it's really a wonderful little stamp set. I want to get a little bit more miles out of it. Okay, let's get our pieces together here for both of our designs. And I went ahead and tied my bow and assembled my flower for my second copy of the card. Let's start here with this one. All right, so got our designer series paper pieces, and our sentiment. Let's go ahead and adhere them to the card. We're going to use multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're going to use a generous amount because we've got that really deep flourish impression and a little bit of ink on top of that, so we really want good adhesion. And what we want here is centered top to bottom and maybe an inch from the fold. Go ahead and burnish that down. And I don't usually care with banners if they go all the way to the end. Sometimes they even curl the ends up a little bit. So just a little side note. And then we're going to overlap these by about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so we're almost going to have equal borders on one side as the other. And we can bring in our greeting. This time we're trying out just a note, see how we like that greeting. Stampin' so many of these cards. I like the idea of having them for some different purposes. We'll put that centered in our designer series paper. And there we go. Now, in our video at the very beginning, we die cut the butterflies using the Brilliant Wings die straight from our Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper. So let's go ahead with the big green, and then we're going to take this big Magenta Madness, put that one aside. Let's add some adhesive to the back of our butterfly here. Going to add it with just a kind of floaty little angle, like it's flying away from us. So cute. These I cut ahead of time, just using my paper snips from the smaller pattern designer series paper. We're going to use them as embellishments, little orange and a little coral butterfly. So I'm ready to add this one. I think I'll add that little coral one after we assemble our flower and see how it's going to work here with our just a note sentiment. Let's assemble the flower, and that is going to take a Stampin' Pierce mat. We've got our punch outs. Got my take your pick tool, and I'm going to cup those two flowers and then adhere the smaller flower inside the larger flower, and see how I alternate the petals a little bit. Give that a second to grab. Let's take our sprig. You punch that from Mint Macron, and we're going to pluck the leaves off and throw that guy away. So instead of having the sprigs go this way, we're going to rearrange them so that they go kind of like a Y. See, now they go away from each other. A little more multi-purpose liquid glue right on the leaf there. And now we've got a cute little embellishment here. Give that a second to dry. Let's bring our card back. I forgot my ribbon underneath. I tied a bow instead of did the wrapping. Did you see? I wrapped underneath. Oh, goodness. Crafty girls do what they want, don't they? I think we might just switch up to a bow this time. Let's see. We can do one way and one the other. With the little just a note sentiment, I think the bow might work just fine. All right, so we're going to rearrange things a little to accommodate our bow. Let's dry fit some of these elements and see. I think if we put the bow up high enough to avoid the bottom of the card, we're going to be all right. Maybe my sprigs should go that way this time, and my bow this way. Maybe my bow this way, and my butterfly in here. Yeah, I think I like that. All right, so a little different. I'll try to make sure I remember to add a photo of it with the bow instead of with the swoop or sloop of ribbon behind. Got one more little butterfly, and I'm thinking that I might actually just put it right there. Look at us kind of winging these designs. I love these, that they were these Butterfly Brilliance, the Stampin stack. I loved that they were all similar. They're a beautiful set. They would make a gorgeous gift, but each one had its own little details that made it original, using the different butterfly from the paper and mixing and matching our pieces using the Wonder Recipe, the One Sheet Wonder, really made each card kind of its own unique, special design. Great as part of a set, but also beautiful as its own unique creation. All right, so let's get a little bow in there instead of our swoopy ribbon underneath. We're going to tuck it in. Don't cover your greeting. I like how the bow can kind of support that cup shape of our flower. Look at that. The same but different. What do you think? Let's get some of those gorgeous elegant faceted gems here. I'm gonna go with these clear one in the center of the flower. Now I've got to kind of rethink, where do I want to put the other ones? We've got a few more to embellish with here. I think I might want them to go kind of this way. That's kind of cool. I never did it with it on the butterfly cutout. What do you think? Just a note. Thanks for being you. I like them. I like them both, actually. I think they're very cute. All right, let's do our thanks for being you. And then just a note conversion for this one. All right, let's do the swoop of ribbon in the back again this time. I don't know how I missed that. I was so excited that it wasn't a bow. I'm gonna grab my ribbon. This is from the kit. You get 5 yards, a half a spool in the kit, so there will be plenty left for you to play with the remaining designer series paper. To do this kind of swoop behind the greeting, I like to take some tear and tape, a couple of strips of it, and then remove the liner. While the ribbon is still on the spool, you don't want to waste any ribbon. If you're like me, you don't want to waste any ribbon at all. So while it's on the spool, we're going to tack the bottom into the tear and tape, and then we'll swoop, come back using our tear and tape to hold, swoop, and then come back, and then trim away from the spool. Not a pretty little detail, something different, especially if you don't love to tie bows. All right, let's go ahead and assemble this a lot like the other one. And there they are, all done. Thanks for being you. Just a note, they have just a little bit different composition because with the different sentiment, but pretty much the same card. There's one, and thanks for being you. And here's our just a note. All right, you guys, there it is. We have completed all 7 cards in the Stampin' stack. If you've got any questions about the projects, you can email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com to see if we still have Stampin' stack kits in the Kitchen Table Stamper store. Buzz over to kitchentablestamper.com/shop. And to shop Stampin' Up 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.